Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online lecture for the students of MA Final English Literature. In this video, we are going to discuss a poem, View of a Pig, that is prescribed in your syllabus. And this poem is written by Ted Hughes. As in our previous videos, we have discussed who was Ted Hughes and what type of poetry he would write. Now, Ted Hughes, as we all know, that Ted Hughes was appointed poet laureate in 1984. One newspaper dubbed him as the poetic voice of blood and guts. Hughes was frequently accused of writing poetry which was unnecessarily rough and violent, when he is simply being a typically blunt Yorkshire man describing things as he saw them. And this poem, when we discuss about this poem, View of a Pig, this poem is a animal poem. And his poems are not like the traditional romantic view of nature for which many English poets are famous, but he would like to write about the animals which are not considered significant very often. Poetry for him had to do with the word of imagination, a word he described as a journey into the inner universe and an exploration of the genuine self. Hughes believed that poetry is a magical and powerful way of reaching our feelings and emotions, our subconscious natural energies that have been repressed by an emphasis on the scientific approach to life and teaching. This poem, named View of a Pig, reiterates the speaker's disappointment. The pig is less than lifeless, too dead, too deadly factual. So, this poem is about a dead poet, dead pig. The poet wants his emotions provoked but thumps the pig without feeling remorse and finds it too dead now to pity. The poem is an exercise in frustration. The speaker wants to remember the pig alive, but it is not a figure of fun. No matter how hard he stares, he cannot provoke a reaction. And when discussing Ted Hughes' poem The Horses, Oswald suggested that his animals are not poeticized but summoned up alive. He strips away description in an attempt to evoke the there-ness of the animal. In one of the Hughes' most widely read and anthologized poems, View of a Pig, that was first published in 1959. Description is certainly stripped back, but even so, the pig does not live in the manner of Hughes' other animals. It is not just dead, but too dead, less than lifeless, and robbed of dignity. The pig is just an it, and it is persistently referred to like an object to be stared at and coldly assessed. The poem's blunt lucidity and curt sentences sound so deadly factual that any sense of life seems impossible. This poem is full of spondees, which gives the lines a very unlatinate thumping rhythm. The language is simple and frank, with words largely derived from Old English and nouns significantly overweigh verbs, showing how candidly death makes object of us. So, as we know that this poem was published in 1959, the poem starts off in a frustrating manner. There is an encounter with a large lifeless pig laying on top of a barrow. Barrow is like a cage in which dead animals are kept. First contact with the pig causes the person to thump it without feeling remorse. After some physical abuse, the pig felt too dead to be mad, at as it was like a poundage of lard and pork. Through all the frustrating events and attempts to accuse the pig, sympathy for the pig starts to appear. Instead of the anger, the poem changes to being more sympathetic towards the pig. too dead now to pity. In the first line of the fifth stanza, showcases that all the anger and sympathy for the pig is gone with the realization that the pig is no longer alive. Acting out of frustration may have caused the person to thump the pig and later on feel bad about it. This poem was written to show humans' cruelty to animals. It was written in the postmodern period. During this time period, writers were starting to embrace the changing of reality. Ted Hughes writes about the reality of animal cruelty. So, this poem is basically about a dead pig. And the poet, in the first session of the poem, the poet creates a frustrating event and show us that this pig is lifeless and it is too dead now to pity. So this poem write about the reality of animal cruelty. Thanks to all. In the next video, we will discuss another poem of Ted Hughes. Thank you all.